Well guys, welcome to the review of the Jordan 12s. Wow, these are actually not fake shoes. These are real Jordan 12s, bought 10 months ago. Look at how they look. So the question is, how do these shoes last? How long could I use my expensive $200 Jordans? For how long? Maybe for a year, maybe for two, maybe for a half a year. And the length of how long you can use them probably influences how much you're willing to pay for them. Honestly, from experience saying, these were $200 when they came out. I bought them for $200. Of course, then the prices drop if nobody buys them, and they probably got sold for $120 last price. They're pretty expensive shoes, okay? Now, this is 10 months later. This is not brand new. This is 10 months later. As we can see, it's not in perfect condition. So, look at that nice B-roll, right?
Sneakers on me, Jordans, NMDs, all those sneakers, we got these. Bulls and beasts, just hype me up and I'ma be a hype beast. Falling sneakers, right for cheap. China the Z, Vietnam D, never spend a E. More sneakers sitting in my closet than I've had on my feet. I'm not hiding my sneakers from the world, I'm hiding the world from my sneaks. Sneakers, we got these. Sneakers on me, biggest on many for
Now back to the shoe review. You probably saw some flaws that have appeared over the 10 months of use. So yeah, they've been used for 10 months straight throughout winter. The winters are snowy here, so they've gotten wet multiple times. I've used them as boots. Of course, they're sneakers, but these are pretty big, okay? If you put a hand next to it, or yeah, they're pretty big. Doesn't matter what you put next to it. Yeah, see, they're pretty big. I put my hand next to it, and they're pretty big, so the sole is very thick. So I pretty much use them as boots in winter. They're also very good at isolating heat, so they're really good for winter for that purpose. I use them in wet times a lot as well. That's their purpose now, because they're so in such a bad state. Okay, let's start with some of the flaws that really don't affect my use that much. So for example, here, the shoestrings aren't the best quality, okay? They've just diffused over time. And even worse on this pair, or these shoes. Yep, they've diffused that far that you can even see what's inside the white color. That's obviously not too good, doesn't really impact the use that much, but I have a feeling they're gonna break soon. So yeah, it's been only 10 months and that's what happened. Obviously the color, you know, it loses the color. Especially for these shoes, one of the parts we have to worry is here, because those places, you know, if they get scratched a lot while moving, they lose color. Obviously this is not basketball use, this is daily general use. So you use them outside and they get pretty messed up over time. Yeah, now see, you can see that the color here isn't that great anymore, and the material that was used on these, it's gotten worse over time. But honestly, like, I wouldn't say the material here outside is really an issue. Now looking at the bottom, whoa, they do look pretty bad. Obviously, because I walked them on concrete, they're pretty messed up. They get a lot of friction. So the outer sole on the bottom it's basically gone here on the bottom part of the shoe. And on the top as well, because a lot of friction, and the Jumpman is pretty much gone, or that's the color maybe, you know. But another issue that is related to the sole is inside them. So basically I'm gonna draw you on a piece of paper what happened. Okay, so this is the shoe, this is the sole, and we take the sole at the front where your fingertips are, and a hole in one of the shoes created. And basically it goes like this, and there's a hole, and they're not usable unless you want to hurt your fingers anymore, okay? So that's why a solution was created. I put another insole inside, which you cannot see because it's too deep inside there. Basically you cut off a hard sole and put the end here in the front. Yes, and I'm not using the original inner soles anymore, because that's how they look. They look awful. They look awful. Of course, there's a lot of friction and they've gotten wrecked. This is on the shoe that had the hole. That's what happens. Your finger just pokes through. So basically after 10 months of usage, I replaced the original inner soles with these random ones. Leather ones, yeah, nice choice, I know. Obviously some more cosmetic issues are with the discoloring, and yes, the outer white part of these has discolored because of dirt and so on. It could probably be cleaned to a certain extent, but I've tried cleaning them multiple times. You cannot actually clean them fully without actually like removing the outer part of the rubber. So the idea is, if you cannot pay $200 and you think these are gonna last you 2 years or so, you're wrong. They're not gonna last you 2 years if you use them as your main shoe and walk with them 24/7. Yeah, they're not gonna do that. Not quite. You know, they're just shoes at the end of the day. But I've had shoes that actually last better than these Jordans. So I'm saying that it's also the fact that you're overpaying, which is bad. Yeah, that's pretty much it for these shoes. Are they worth $200? I'd say after 10 months of use. No, you know, unless this becomes my job, you know. But this color scheme, by the way, is the bordeaux.